People have wanted to fly from the time they first realized that falling from high places hurts really, really badly, and sometimes it's hard to find a ladder. Though we now fly in planes, helicopters, and even spacecrafts, humans still can't fly on their own. The airplane flies. We're just riding on it. The ability to fly is one of the reasons why everyone loves characters like Superman and Boba Fett. So what if I told you there was a game that lets you fly around like the Rocketeer and fight UFOs? Sounds awesome, right? But what if the game didn't let you do that very often? Yeah, then that sounds like a game that was almost great. The line between a game that's mediocre and one that's great is thinner than many people realize. The bargain bin at your local game store is probably full of titles that underperformed in sales, but just needed a few tweaks to turn it into something that would have flown off shelves. For my first installment of my Games That Were Almost Great series, I'm going to talk about Dark Void by Capcom. Dark Void was developed by Airtight Games and published by Capcom back in 2010 for Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. The game follows the story of Will and Ava, and a strange couple who reunite for work, only to find themselves transported through a nexus to another world during a plane crash. They discover that aliens are using the portal to plan an attack on Earth, with the help of the Nazis. Because, why not? They fight the invasion with the help of others who are also trapped, including Nikola Tesla, who invents the jetpack that Will uses. The story may be a little ridiculous, but so far so good, right? The game still sounds like fun. Take a look at some of these highlights. Who wouldn't want to play a game with action like this? The game has aerial dogfights against aliens. You can hijack a UFO, though it takes forever. It has tight maneuvering through canyons, and epic battles against huge bosses. Too bad much of the game is a cover-based third-person shooter like Gears of War. You may want to rocket around and shoot things, but after the prologue, you don't get the flying jetpack again until the end of Episode 1. There are only 3 episodes in the game, so you spend the first third of the game not doing any of the awesome stuff I just showed. In fact, just to make it all the more boring, the game makes you spend a lot of time just running from one location to the next, sometimes with some generic shooting along the way. The worst example is Chapter 3 of Episode 1, where the entire chapter consists of you running down a straight path to a village, and then briefly following a new character you've met. That's it. Chapter 3 of Episode 1 has no enemies, no puzzles, or anything other than a leisurely stroll. Needless to say, the game was pretty short. The jetpack does come into play with the cover-based shooting. Dark Void tries to distinguish itself from similar shooters by using vertical combat. You use the jetpack to climb from platform to platform and take cover under the platforms while shooting aliens. The same thing happens while going down, but that doesn't really involve the jetpack. It's an interesting twist on the cover-based shooter, but it grows annoying very quickly. So the jetpack aerial combat missions, which are easily the most fun part of Dark Void, are only sprinkled in small doses throughout the game. The entire game is also plagued by a lack of depth. There are very few enemy types, and most just look like reskins of previous enemies, though with better guns. You only get 2 weapons for the jetpack, though they can be upgraded, but that leaves little variety in how you fight. You can take over enemy aircrafts, or grab a combat ship while in midair, but those weapons can't be upgraded. Dark Void had a lot going for it. Though a little convoluted, the plot was clever enough that there was even a plan for Brad Pitt to star in a movie based on the franchise, though that was before the game was released to poor sales. Also, Dark Void has great music. The score was composed by Bear McCreary, who would later go on to compose music for Battlestar Galactica, The Walking Dead, and Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In the end, Dark Void suffers from a lack of focus. It tries to do so much that the best bits get lost in the mix. Had they put all their eggs in the aerial combat basket and developed that portion of the game more, Dark Void would have been a classic. With games that are almost great, if gamers are lucky, the developer takes one more stab at it and creates something unforgettable. This is what happened with Zone of Vendors and Zone of Vendors: The Second Runner. Unfortunately, Airtight Games closed its doors in 2014, a week after they released Murdered: Sole Suspect, which they developed for Square Enix, another game that was almost great. This means that the chances for a Dark Void sequel are extremely low. So gamers will have to enjoy what we got and imagine the awesomeness that could have been. Capcom did release Dark Void Zero a few months later, but that was an 8-bit game with the Metroid feel. It wasn't a true sequel. Console gamers can get Dark Void used for less than $3 from GameStop, Amazon, or eBay. PC users can buy it on Steam for $9.99. It's a game worth playing if just for the innovative flying portions. There are also Survivor Missions DLC that lets players have fun with only the aerial combat, or the shooting if they prefer. Let me know in the comments if you played Dark Void, or what other games I should cover for the next Games That Were Almost Great. Until next time, I'm the Poor Man Gamer. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe for more.